The San Francisco Bay Area is a place of innovation and technology. It's a cultural hub to 8 million inhabitants and is one of California's leading areas. Its beautiful landscape and impressive infrastructure is what makes the Bay Area flourish and shine. But with rising concerns for climate change, the same waters that define the Bay's beauty have become a massive threat to the area.
At risk for a climate event that, at its worst, could be catastrophic.
Neighbors say every year it's a problem, but they've never seen flooding this bad before.
We found that climate change has already doubled the chances of catastrophic flooding.
There are streets all over San Francisco underwater.
This might sound scary now, but let's take a few steps back to get the whole picture.
From the 1930s until 1968, the Homeowners Loan Corporation created what they called residential security maps, where they designated essentially the best and the worst areas to live. Areas shaded in red were the riskiest home loans, and ultimately the only places that Black and brown individuals were allowed to buy property. This practice of forcing Black and brown people into certain neighborhoods is called redlining, and it has often been referred to as modern-day segregation. Although the practice of redlining was banned in 1968, its effects on the people living in those cities is still seen. Redline cities were also often targeted as locations for manufacturing sites, landfills, and oil wells. East Palo Alto is one of the many redline cities that is still facing the environmental and health impacts of redlining. From 1956 to 2007, Romic Environmental Technologies operated in East Palo Alto as a hazardous waste processing facility. They often handled it irresponsibly and had several chemical spills that hurt employees and community members. The Romic facility shut down in 2007 thanks to advocacy by groups like Youth United for Community Action. But the soil and groundwater beneath the area continues to be contaminated with volatile organic compounds. With sea levels rising, the contaminants in the soil from the Romic site and other contaminated sites in the area will rise and have more direct impacts on residents. But East Palo Alto is not the only city that will be facing all of these challenges in the coming years. Dozens of cities throughout the San Francisco estuary have similar histories of redlining and environmental injustice that are leaving them in highly vulnerable positions for flooding in the future.
Before we go further, let's talk about where we live. An estuary is where the fresh water meets salt water. The San Francisco estuary is California's largest, nearly 60,000 square miles, stretching from the Sierra Nevada mountains to the Golden Gate Bridge. It includes the Delta, Susan Bay, North, Central, and South Bay. You may ask, why does it matter? It matters because the estuary protects communities from flooding and storms. A healthy estuary is more than a body of water, it's the foundation for the entire region. But that foundation is under threat. Our planet is warming at an alarming rate, a process we call climate change. Climate change is a long-term shift in Earth's temperatures and weather patterns, largely driven by human activity. Fossil fuels, agriculture, deforestation, and waste pollution are pumping greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere. Here's how it works. Sunlight reaches the Earth, warms the surface, and then some of that heat reflects back into space. Greenhouse gases trap some of that heat, keeping our planet warm enough to support life. Think of greenhouse gases like a blanket around Earth, except we are piling on more blankets, trapping more heat.
But it doesn't just disappear. It stays in our atmosphere and results in rising weather temperatures, extreme weather events, and the melting of glaciers, causing a larger volume of water in our seas, thus sea level rising. Because of this, existing coastlines are being pushed in, causing large flooding for cities. Other common flooding factors, like groundwater rise, a process where water below the ground is being pushed up by rising sea levels and strong storm events, are compounding the rate of flooding and could lead to sea level rising up to 7 feet by the year 2100. Cities in the Bay Area, including East Palo Alto, Redwood City, San Rafael, and Foster City, will be the most impacted in the near future by rising sea levels.
Flooding does not only affect buildings and your physical belongings, it can also take a toll on your health. With large floods, groundwater and unsanitized water may also get through to your drinking supply. Water that may be contaminated with harmful bacteria, parasites, or even fecal matter. Individuals who are exposed to such contaminated waters may face a high risk of infection from a wide variety of illnesses. Floodwater may also get into your homes, where if not taken care of properly can expose you and your families to mold. Exposure to mold can worsen respiratory conditions like asthma and cause general allergic reactions. but there are ways to prevent these things from happening to you.
When we talk about flood preparedness, we're really talking about being ready before the water rises. They can develop slowly or hit suddenly without any warning. In a place like East Palo Alto, where neighborhoods sit just a few feet above sea level, every minute matters. But here's a part many people don't realize. Flooding isn't just common, it's the most expensive natural disaster we face. In 2024 alone, floods caused more than $8.8 billion in damage nationwide, and over $3.8 billion of that happened in communities that aren't even labeled high risk according to FEMA. So now that we've seen how flooding impacts our health, our homes, and our entire community, what does being prepared actually look like? Start by knowing your risk. Renters and homeowners can look up flood risk using NOAA's Sea Level Rise Viewer. If you live in an apartment, consider finding out if your building has pumps or drainage issues during storms. How close is your home or parking lot to a creek or flood zone? Knowing your risk helps you plan where to go and what to protect. Next, sign up to local alerts and weather warnings. Then, build your emergency kit. Make sure to include essentials. After that, make an emergency plan with the members of your home. Learn and practice evacuation routes. Preparedness doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. It just has to be yours. If a flooding warning is issued or you see water rising, act fast. Stay informed. Depending on where you are, the impact or the warning time of flooding, go to the safe locations that you have identified in your plan. If you have to evacuate, do so immediately. Never walk or drive through floodwater. Remember, 6 inches can knock a person over, 1 foot can sweep away a car. Floods move fast, your plan needs to be faster. Even when the water goes down, the danger doesn't. Floodwater can contain chemicals, sewage, and debris, so avoid it whenever possible. Don't re-enter your home until officials say it's safe. Document everything. Photos, videos, all damage. When cleaning, make sure to wear protection. Throw out anything soaked by floodwater. Check on neighbors, share resources, use your local community organizations for support.
Being prepared for major flooding is crucial. It keeps you and your loved ones safe when disaster strikes. But being prepared is only the first step. To really protect our communities, we need to look at a larger scale with more long-term solutions. Investing in environmental sustainable infrastructure is what keeps flooding and climate change impacts under control. Traditional man-made civilization structures or hard shorelines act as a barrier between water and land, deflecting wave and current energy from critical infrastructure. But these hard shorelines were built to reflect energy, not absorb them. Think of a bathtub. Splashing one side of the wall with water does not stop the energy. All the water just splashes back. This is the same with waves and currents. These hard shorelines create stronger wave turbulence, can amplify tidal waves, and will worsen flooding effects elsewhere. A practical natural approach is soft shorelines, which act as a barrier made through biodegradable materials. Unlike hard shorelines, it is able to absorb the energy, but can also adapt over time. These natural systems can adjust as sea level rises and won't be as affected by erosion since it can naturally trap sediments.
In California, flooding isn't just a problem for the future. It's already reshaping the lives of thousands of people, especially in the low-lying communities like East Palo Alto. Proposition 4, passed by voters in 2024, sets aside $10 billion to protect communities from the impacts of climate change. Prop 4 funds real solutions, which means investing in natural defenses like wetlands and estuaries. But the most important part, at least 40% of the funds must benefit disadvantaged and vulnerable communities, where rising sea levels and aging infrastructure already threaten homes, schools, and businesses. But Proposition 4 isn't automatic. The money doesn't come unless cities apply for it. Your voice is the push. Call on City Council to prioritize Prop 4 funding applications. Show up to city meetings. Encourage city departments to partner with local organizations. This isn't just about infrastructure. It's about protecting families, preserving neighborhoods, and giving cities a fair chance at a safer future. Prop 4 is more than a climate bond. It's our opportunity, our leverage, our moment to demand action now.